Warzone 2 just over 24 hours away, I wanted to share my thoughts on what I think the meta loadouts will be heading into Season 1. We don't know everything about this new map, but we can make some educated guesses on what we think will be good based on Warzone 1 and information from the 2 streamer events. After an unhealthy amount of hours spent leveling every gun in the game, these are my recommendations for Day 1 of Warzone 2. At the top of my list is going to be the STB-556, or the AUG, with slight asterisks. Well, let's get to the build first, and we'll come back to that later. I'm not a fan of the iron, so I'm going to use a dot, but for those of you that don't want to waste the attachment slot, swapping it out for the F-Tac riser, or even a larger mag, is an excellent option. This build excels at close to mid-range engagements, helped by the AUG's excellent sprint to fire speed, and pairs well with your ranged weapon of choice. Good to take note here, most of my builds will have high velocity rounds when available. They offer a 40% buff to bullet velocity with minimal downsides. And in Warzone, landing reliable shots at range is more important than any other stat at improving your overall kill potential. Back to that asterisk, it seems that overkill no longer works in Warzone, and without a reliable ranged weapon there's a chance that the STB-556 could struggle. As a result, my next suggestion is an excellent all-arounder, the TAC-V. With a best-in-class mobility and high damage, I can see this thing translating well to Warzone. This build is an excellent, well-rounded starting place and can be adjusted to your playstyle. Most of the ARs in this game are pretty good, and I'll include a few more builds below. With the standout being the AK-74U. This gun has the potential to be a great Warzone weapon, but its lack of versatility holds it back a little here for me. Next up are the subs. These are a little bit harder to pin down pre-launch, but I have 2 suggestions. First, my favorite, the Vaznev. I don't have much to say about this build, other than I think it'll be a good, consistent performer in Warzone. Next is the Lockman sub, and I have 2 builds I think will work great for this gun. The first, a longer range, more stable version, and then a more speed focused build to help you get around the map a little bit faster. This build loses a lot of its longer range consistency in exchange for speed and mobility. Lastly, the ranged options. I feel like these are mostly up to personal preference, so I'll leave you with 3 options, each with their own strengths. The most traditional option, the SPS-80, has great all-around stats and a good variable zoom scope by default. Next is the SAB-50. What it lacks for in overall lethality compared to the SPX-80, it makes up for with lightning fast handling and ADS speeds. This will fill the role of the old Kar 98 from the original Warzone. And lastly, for you non-bolty users, I offer you this LMS build. These aren't the end-all be-all for gun choices, but it should be a good place to start for Day 1 of Warzone. Once I get some hands-on experience, I'll update these builds, so keep an eye out for that.
I've got your back.
Friendly UAV on station.
Tossing a dummy grenade.
UAV. Friendly counter UAV is online.
Reloading.
EKIA confirmed.
Loading. Cluster mine deployed. Throwing flash group. Changing mag.
Tag secure.